Hey everybody, it's Jenny from ASHRAE. In last week's video, we talked about ASHRAE 62.1 and ventilation for indoor air quality. This week, since many of ASHRAE's offices are in California, I want to talk about the ventilation requirements in Title 24. So let's get started. The ventilation requirements of the 2022 Title 24 Part 6 Code is covered under Section 120.1, Requirements for Ventilation and Indoor Air Quality. Just like ASHRAE 62.1, this section of the code covers more than just ventilation air, but I'm just going to discuss minimum ventilation air requirements today. We'll come back later to discuss other parts of the code because some of them need some pre-discussion of other topics before we go into it. So in the code for mechanically ventilated spaces, the code gives a calculation of the outdoor airflow rate to the zone, V sub Z, and it's equal to RT times AZ, where R sub T is the total outdoor airflow rate per unit area as determined by table 120.1-A, and A sub Z is the zone floor area, which is the net occupiable floor area of the ventilation zone in square feet. So let's make some room and bring up the table. This is table 120.1-A. So let's use the same example we used in the last video. If we have a classroom for ages 5 through 8, the R sub T equals 0.38 CFM per square foot. The A sub Z is the 30 by 30 space. So V sub Z is 0.038 times 900 square feet is 342 CFM. So that would be the minimum ventilation air requirement. For comparison, in last week's video, the ASHRAE standard 62.1 video, the calculation came up with 308 CFM. So let's move this out of the way and look at the exception for spaces that are designed for a fixed number of occupants. In this case, V sub Z is the greater of the two between R sub P times P sub Z or R sub A times A sub Z. And RP is 15 CFM per person, and P sub Z is the number of people. And then for the second part, R sub A is the minimum ventilation airflow rate allowed for demand-controlled ventilation in our table 120.1-A. And A sub Z is still the zone floor area. So if we do these two equations, for that classroom that we had before, it's 15 CFM times 20 people in the classroom, which would give us 300 CFM ventilation air, or 0.15 from the table times 900 square feet is 135 CFM. So in this situation, you would need 300 CFM minimum ventilation. So there's a lot more in this section of Title 24. That's the basic calculation for how much ventilation air you need to bring into an occupied space. I'll break the other parts out into future videos. But until then, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and thanks for watching.